There are mysteries that do not belong to this world. There are slumbers that last thousands of years. And there are those who have built immortality from blood, clay, and curses. You are standing before the gates of time, where memory and legend intertwine in Xi'an, China. Just a few meters beneath the surface lies the final resting place of one of the most powerful figures in human history, Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor to unify ancient China. He was not only a political genius, but also the source of chilling legends about immortality, power, and a timeless obsession. His mausoleum is said to span over 40,000 square meters, containing a terracotta army of more than 8,000 warriors, eternal lamps that have burned for centuries, and most strikingly, a vast sea of mercury, an enormous chemical trap that could cost intruders their lives. Since its discovery in 1974, Qin Shi Huang's tomb has become a symbol of mystery. For more than 50 years, no one has dared to excavate the central chamber, where the emperor's body is believed to lie. Why? Fear of an ancient curse, lack of technology to safely open it, or simply because there are secrets that should never be revealed. In this journey, you and I will uncover the full mystery surrounding the tomb of Qin Shi Huang, not merely an archaeological marvel, but a symbol of eternal power, sacred death, and humanity's ambition to reach immortality. A journey spanning over 2,000 years of history, from the glory of the Qin dynasty to the shadows of an ancient curse, officially begins now. Chapter 1. The journey of building the mausoleum, a monument of ambition and eternity. When someone is born believing he is the son of heaven, death cannot be the end. It is merely a door leading to another world. And for Ingenious, the king who would become Qin Shi Huang, death was also an opportunity to display immortal power, one last time, but for all eternity. Age 13, laying the first stone of the immortal dream. In 246 BCE, at just 13 years old, Ingenious began construction of his own tomb. It was a strange decision, boldly ambitious, yet pragmatic. At that time, the nobility of China believed death was not the end. A king in death still required a palace, soldiers, concubines, and protection from evil spirits. And no one thought a boy so young could have such far-reaching vision. But Ingenious was no ordinary child. Born into the brutal intrigues of politics, he grew up amidst plots and bloodshed. When he ascended as emperor in 221 BCE, Ingenious not only unified the 6 warring states, but also unified history itself, becoming Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China. From that moment, the mausoleum, the symbol of eternal sleep, expanded from a small burial site into a monumental project of immortality. 700,000 laborers, a sacrifice for one man's eternity. According to Sima Qian's records of the Grand Historian, over 700,000 people were mobilized over nearly 40 years to construct this massive tomb. It was a project beyond imagination. They were laborers drawn from across the Qin Empire. They were the finest craftsmen, chosen from great workshops. They were prisoners of war, criminals, and conscripted workers. Under strict supervision, they dug hundreds of meters into the earth, transported stone, soil, bronze, tin, and mercury. The statues they shaped from clay were anything but lifeless. The chambers, sunk deep below, recreated an entire miniature world. But the cost of such grandeur was death. Many never left the mausoleum. Legend says they were executed to preserve the secrets of its design, its traps, and the location of its treasures. The mausoleum's layout, a hidden empire beneath the earth. The mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang was not a simple burial chamber. It was designed as an underground palace complex, complete with The main palace, housing the emperor's coffin, surrounded by mercury rivers, artificial mountains, and celestial maps. Auxiliary chambers, holding treasures, jade, calligraphy, musical instruments. Concubine tombs, 48 smaller tombs encircling the main chamber. The Terracotta Army, the emperor's eternal protectors in the afterlife. Traps and chemical defenses, including automatic crossbows, pitfall traps, and deadly mercury. The architecture was arranged in multiple layers, spanning about 260 meters east to west and 160 meters north to south. A forbidden underground world 5 times the size of an international football field. Every brick haunted by fear. Imagine being a sculptor, tasked with crafting hundreds of terracotta warriors, each with detail down to the folds of cloth. You cannot repeat a single face, for the emperor wants his army to look alive. Every warrior must seem like a man who once lived, with a past, a face, a spirit. You work in darkness, among dust, in the silence of deep chambers. You hear the screams of workers, executed for glimpsing the master plans. You know that when the work is complete, your life may also end. And when the mausoleum was finally finished, a part of history was sealed away. The gates closed. The Terracotta Army stood silently. Lamps were lit, and the last living workers walked out, never to return. Technology beyond its time. What did they know that we don't? Modern science has confirmed the presence of abnormally high levels of mercury inside the tomb, something no known Qin-era technique could explain. How could people over 2,000 years ago extract such vast amounts of mercury, keep it in liquid state for millennia, use it as a defensive weapon beneath the ground? Some architectural features, anti-collapse designs, moisture control, intrusion barriers, are also thought to be far ahead of the technology of the time. Did the ancients possess knowledge we have since lost? Legacy or curse? Qin Shi Huang's mausoleum is not just a resting place. It is a declaration of power and immortality, proof of a belief. Greatness does not end with death. But this monument has also become an obsession for later generations. How many laborers died to keep its secrets? How many have been drawn into its legends? How many more years will pass before we dare to fully uncover the central tomb? This is not just China's heritage. It is a question for all humanity. Is the ambition for eternity worth the sacrifice of an entire generation? Chapter 2. The Terracotta Army. Immortal life in clay. Have you ever stood amidst an army that does not speak, does not move, yet stares with the cold eyes of men just returned from battle? Have you ever looked into the face of a terracotta warrior and felt as if it were looking back at you? That is the unforgettable experience of anyone who has stepped into the domain of Qin Shi Huang's Terracotta Army. This is not merely an artistic creation, it is an immortal army, forged not to fight, but to guard the emperor's eternal slumber. Over 8,000 warriors, a silent army standing guard. In 1974, while digging a well, a group of farmers in Xi'an village, Xi'an, Shanxi province, accidentally uncovered fragments of strange clay figures. This marked the beginning of one of the greatest archaeological discoveries of the 20th century, the Terracotta Army of Qin Shi Huang. Since then, thousands of statues have been excavated. 8,000 life-sized warriors, average height 1.75 to 1.90 in a mass. 520 horses pulling chariots, 150 cavalry figures, thousands thousands of real weapons: swords, spears, crossbows, halberds. All are arranged in precise military formations: vanguard, center, rearguard, cavalry, infantry, archers. This formation is no coincidence. It reflects the battlefield strategies of the Qin army during the Warring States period. This is not just a group of statues, it is a real army frozen in time. Clay, a humble material with an immortal soul. The artisans of the time used locally sourced clay, which they shaped, molded, assembled, and fired at high temperatures to create each part of the soldiers' bodies. What astonishes archaeologists is not the material, but the technique. Bodies were molded according to military type: infantry, archers, officers. Heads, hands, and weapons were crafted separately, then joined with clay adhesive. The face of each soldier is unique. No two are identical. Some scholars believe real soldiers served as models, perhaps actual Qin troops immortalized in clay. This might explain why each face carries its own expression: sorrow, determination, ferocity. Originally, the figures were painted with vivid colors: silver, red, blue, even gold. Under their original light, each suit of armor shimmered. However, exposure to air caused the pigments to oxidize and fade, leaving most statues the color of natural clay today. Real weapons. Advanced military technology of the ancient world. Weapons unearthed from the terracotta pits show that Qin metallurgy was highly advanced. Bronze swords remain sharp after over 2,000 years. Arrowheads were cast with extraordinary uniformity, as if mass-produced. Some sword blades are coated with a thin layer of chromium, a technique not widely used until the 20th century. How did ancient craftsmen achieve this? Did they possess knowledge now lost? Or was this the pinnacle of a forgotten technological era? Anonymous artisans, memories buried underground. Behind each statue was an unnamed craftsman. While history remembers emperors, it was the clay-stained hands of these workers that created this immortal legend. Archaeologists have found inscriptions carved under some statues, possibly signatures, workshop numbers, or personal marks. These suggest a highly organized production process. Teams responsible for specific parts: heads, torsos, arms, weapons. Quality control, with names marking accountability. Yet, when the work was done, most artisans were executed to ensure secrecy. Their true names and faces remain buried forever, just like the army they built, an army with a curse. Since the army's discovery, countless supernatural tales have emerged. Legend says the 9,999th statue will gain a real soul, awakening when the central tomb is opened. Locals speak of hearing metallic clashes, hoarse cries, and battle shouts in the pits at night. In 1997, as mentioned earlier, a mysterious body was found among the warriors, fueling speculation that the army still lives in some way, guarding Qin Shi Huang. Whether truth or myth, the Terracotta Army remains a legendary force, not because they move, but because they make time stand still. Immortality lies not in breath, but in presence. There is a saying, death does not come when the heart stops beating, but when no one remembers your name. Qin Shi Huang may have died over 2,200 years ago, but thanks to this army, he is still guarded, still honored, still spoken of every day. These warriors are not merely ancient soldiers. They are a living declaration of immortality, a message from the Emperor to humanity. I will endure, even without a body. I will rule, even without a throne. And there will always be those who stand guard. until someone dares to break my eternal slumber. Chapter 3. The legend of those who disturb the emperor's sleep. If someone dares to trespass into the tomb of the Qin emperor, they will not return. This is not a line from a horror film. It is a saying passed down for thousands of years around Xi'an, the land where Qin Shi Huang's eternal slumber is believed to be guarded, not only by the Terracotta Army, but also by ancient curses, deadly mechanisms, and the quietest weapon of all, fear. Those who have attempted to dig deeper, edging toward the central burial chamber. Some have vanished, some have died mysteriously, and others have never spoken of what they saw. The mysterious case of 1997, corpses found underground. One of the most chilling tales of disturbing the Qin emperor comes from a shocking event in 1997. When an archaeological team extended excavation near the mausoleum, they unexpectedly discovered decomposed bodies in a section believed to have been sealed for thousands of years. The strange part: the corpses were not from the Qin era, but modern times. They carried no identification, no missing persons were reported. The bodies showed signs of strangulation, their faces twisted in terror. The leading theory: these were tomb robbers, but the disturbing detail: the area where they were found showed no sign of forced entry. No doors opened, no tunnels dug, no exit paths. As if they had entered from nowhere, or never left once they went in. Chinese authorities kept the details classified, but word spread quickly among locals. The Terracotta Army rose and executed the intruders. A deadly network of traps. No one has ever tested them. Ancient texts such as Sima Qian's records of the Grand Historian describe, inside the tomb are hidden traps, fitted with crossbows, gunpowder, mercury, enough to kill any intruder without leaving their body intact. Modern experts believe these traps could be real. Crossbow bolts attached to trigger mechanisms, ready to fire if a door is opened incorrectly. False stairways leading directly into pits filled with mercury. Sealed passageways with toxic air or no oxygen. And walls with hollow chambers, possibly containing ancient explosives or acids. No one has tested these systems, because no one has dared enter the central burial chamber. All excavations so far have stopped at the outer pits and the Terracotta Army. Not just physical traps. Those working at the site for years have reported unexplainable occurrences. Security cameras at night sometimes capture moving shadows, yet nothing is found when checked. Some workers claim to have experienced sleep paralysis, dreaming they were standing among the warriors, hundreds of eyes staring at them. A few workers have suffered mental breakdowns, refusing to return to the site. Some Eastern scholars believe excavating ancient tombs, especially those of powerful rulers, disturbs the yin energy, awakening guarding spirits. Without proper rituals, ancient curses may follow the living. Why has China still not opened the main tomb? To this day, the central mausoleum, believed to house Qin Shi Huang's body, remains untouched. Official reasons sound scientific. Insufficient archaeological technology. Any error could destroy the fragile artifacts or cause collapse. Mercury hazards. Readings show abnormally high mercury levels around the tomb, matching ancient records. Cultural preservation. The Chinese government states the tomb will only be opened when there is 100% certainty of preservation, but many believe there is another unspoken reason. They fear the curse. They fear awakening something sealed for thousands of years. From a scientific perspective, many phenomena could have explanations. Hallucinations from exhaustion, poor air, or toxins. Psychological effects from working in a dark, ominous environment with heavy folklore. Mysterious deaths, possibly due to crime or hidden hazards. But when incidents happen repeatedly, systematically, and always near the central tomb, science grows quiet, and belief begins to speak. Qin Shi Huang's slumber is not just the death of an emperor. It is the sealing of power, ambition, and timeless obsession. And to this day, no one can say for certain, if one day the main tomb is opened, what will emerge? The truth, the treasure, the curse, or something worse than death. Chapter 4. The Eternal Lamps. The Mystery of Immortal Light in Qin Shi Huang's mausoleum. People often say, light is the symbol of life. But if there exists a lamp that has burned for over 2,000 years, deep underground, without air, without human care, what then is that light? A marvel of science, a lost technology, or a miracle beyond human understanding? Ancient legends of the Changming Deng, the lamp that never goes out. The idea of the Changming Deng, eternal lamp, appears not only in Chinese culture. Many ancient civilizations, Egypt, India, Greece, also tell of lamps that never extinguish, placed in the tombs of kings or high priests. In China, the Changming Deng is tied to the legend of Qin Shi Huang's mausoleum. Sima Qian wrote in the records of the Grand Historian, inside the tomb, everlasting lamps were placed, fueled by oil that does not dissipate, burning without end in the darkness. Ancient records claim these lamps could burn for centuries without fuel, independent of outside air. These were only legends, until archaeologists began finding unsettling evidence. In 1988, during a survey of a northern auxiliary chamber, the excavation team recorded something unusual. As they opened a room sealed for over 2,000 years, before their flashlights were switched on, they saw a faint glow in the corner. Within seconds, the glow vanished, like a candle snuffed by wind, though there was no air movement. They found a gold-plated bronze lamp base, corroded, but with soot marks and scorch trails still fresh-looking. Even stranger, the chamber had no oxygen, conditions under which a normal flame could not survive. Some researchers believe the lamp oil of the Qin dynasty was unlike any ordinary fuel. Ancient texts called it the divine fire elixir, a liquid that did not evaporate, did not burn away, and could reignite after being extinguished. In 2004, chemical analysis of residue from a lamp fragment tested at Peking University revealed traces of a carbon-rich organic oil, unlike typical plant oils. The presence of antioxidant compounds preventing degradation over time. A lamp design similar to a simple chemical battery, possibly producing a light reaction, similar to how fireflies emit light. Did the ancients discover a form of chemical illumination? Or was this coincidence? Some modern physicists propose a daring idea. The eternal lamp in Qin Shi Huang's tomb may not have been a flame lamp at all, but a form of cold light, emitting light without heat or combustion. Possible explanations include photoluminescence, light emitted by charged minerals activated by a chemical catalyst. Phosphorescence, lamps using natural luminous stones or metals. Self-sustaining electromagnetic fields, primitive devices generating continuous light. If this technology truly existed, why was it lost? Why did no later generation in Chinese history replicate it? The lamp as a symbol of immortality. Cultural scholars suggest another interpretation. The eternal lamp was a symbol, not merely a source of light. In Taoist philosophy, the lamp represents the Yuan Shen, the original spirit of a person, which extinguishes at death. A lamp placed beside the emperor's body symbolized that Qin Shi Huang was not dead, only cultivating in darkness. In one legend says, If the lamp still burns, the emperor's soul has not departed. If someone extinguishes it, disaster will follow. Stories of ghostly lights in the night, flickering and then vanishing, have only deepened the aura of mystery. An unofficial archaeological report circulated in China claims, in the past 20 years, those who worked near areas with traces of eternal lamps often met with accidents, sudden illness, car crashes, disappearances. Whether coincidence or not, excavation teams now avoid working at night, avoid bringing bright light into sealed chambers, and never touch any ancient lamp bases if found. Perhaps they do not fear the technology, but the curse that might accompany the light. China is not the only place with such legends. Cleopatra's tomb, Egypt, said to have contained a lamp still burning when Roman soldiers opened it. Temple of Delphi, Greece, recorded to have a lamp burning for 500 years without extinguishing. Temple of Shiva, India. In a hidden cave shrine, a sacred flame is said to have burned for centuries. Could there be a connection between ancient civilizations, or is this evidence of a shared lost technology? To this day, Qin Shi Huang's eternal lamp remains one of the greatest enigmas of his mausoleum. Whether explained by science or shrouded in mysticism, its light continues to intrigue, astonish, and frighten humanity. It is a symbol of eternal power, a warning to any who would trespass on an emperor's immortality, and perhaps the key to the treasure, or the final trap. Chapter 5. The Underground Sea of Mercury. Silent death beneath the earth. Many imagine an ancient tomb as a place of dust and dry bones. But according to ancient records, the mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang was awash in shimmering silver liquid. Not water, not oil, but one of the most dangerous substances known to humanity, mercury. Over 2,000 years ago, in the records of the grand historian, Sima Qian described the tomb's interior. The rivers and seas were imitated inside the tomb. The rivers were made of mercury, driven by mechanical systems flowing around the emperor's coffin. At first it sounded like legend, perhaps an exaggeration by the historian. But modern science has revealed something far more troubling. In 1981, Chinese archaeologists used infrared spectrometry to non-invasively survey the central mausoleum. The results were shocking. Mercury levels in the soil were abnormally high, especially at the center, where the emperor's body is believed to rest. In some spots, concentrations reached 1,440 pounds Ug-3, over 150 times the international safety standard. There was no evidence of industrial contamination or natural deposits. The only conclusion: mercury still exists underground, slowly releasing toxic vapor into the surrounding soil. Why was mercury used in the tomb? In ancient Chinese cosmology, water symbolizes the flow of energy, wealth, and life force. Artificial rivers of mercury symbolized an eternal, unending flow of power. Rivers that would never dry mirrored the everlasting rule of Qin Shi Huang, a biological death trap. Mercury vapor is a silent killer. It damages the nervous system, lungs, and reproductive organs. It is colorless, odorless, undetectable until it is too late. This may have been an ingenious defense. The deeper an intruder goes, the more likely they are to die from invisible poison. Reverse ventilation, an ancient biochemical defense system. Archaeologists have discovered traces of air shafts and vent-like structures around the tomb's perimeter. One theory: these vents did not expel air. They created a reverse airflow. When the tomb is opened, outside air would be sucked in, pushing toxic mercury vapor back toward the intruder. No electricity, no modern machinery. Yet the Qin engineers may have created a self-sustaining biological defense. The danger of excavation. Scientists today agree. Opening the central mausoleum would be extremely dangerous because liquid mercury becomes highly toxic vapor when exposed to air. Toxic gas could spread widely, affecting thousands of nearby residents. Groundwater contamination is possible, as centuries of mercury flow may have leached into deep aquifers. For these reasons, the Chinese government has not permitted excavation of the central chamber. An ocean of mercury. How much lies underground? Based on geological surveys and chemical readings, estimates suggest the central mausoleum covers about 50,000 meters. If ancient descriptions of rivers and seas of mercury are accurate, there may be 100,000 to 200,000 liters of liquid mercury beneath the ground. For perspective, a single drop of mercury can poison 1,000 liters of water. Now imagine 200,000 liters. So imagine 200,000 liters will destroy the environment if escaping. Strange accidents during excavations. Even without touching the central chamber, there have been mysterious incidents. In 2002, 3 archaeologists suddenly developed acute poisoning symptoms while working near a section believed to contain mercury. A robotic probe short-circuited deep underground, possibly due to mercury vapor damaging its circuits. One archaeologist anonymously reported, "The closer I went to the center, the more I felt dizzy, my breathing short. But once I stepped back, it stopped." Perhaps mercury does not need traps. It simply waits. Mercury, a curse or a message? A question is, Qin Shi Huang uses mercury to kill the invaders or to protect something inside. One theory, mercury was a preservative, keeping his body immortal. Another, mercury was part of a hidden energy system, reacting with precious metals to generate electricity or light. More extreme theories suggest the mausoleum is a biological reactor, mercury is the fuel, and the emperor is not dead, he is in hibernation. Western experts have warned, if the tomb is breached carelessly, the release of mercury could cause an environmental disaster equivalent to an industrial chemical leak. Thus, while the tomb promises treasures, mysteries, and unparalleled history, the price of opening it could be human lives. The mausoleum of Qin Shi Huang remains sealed, not because humanity cannot open it, but because humanity dares not. Inside, mercury still flows, quiet as blood in the veins of a fallen empire. Death there makes no noise, wields no sword. It is the silent breath of toxic vapor, killing with a single touch. No one knows exactly where Qin Shi Huang's body rests, but if there is any place that could keep him safest, it is the ocean of mercury he built with his own hands.